So, hello there, and welcome back to another Night of the Movies podcast. I'm Spike Knight, and in these podcasts, I love talking about things, movies and TV, and whatever I want, whenever I want. And in today's podcast, I am reviewing this new body horror movie called Together. So, let's get into it, shall we? Together, as I just said, is this new body horror movie written and directed by Michael Shanks, who I'm not familiar with, as a filmmaker, and this film stars real-life married couple Dave Franco and Alison Brie, and that was one of the sort of appealing things with me when it came to this movie. The fact that you have a real-life married couple playing a couple in this film. And when you see the trailers, that added to a lot of my intrigue as well, because, well, as the premise for the film goes, years into their relationship, Tim and Millie, played by Dave Franco and Alison Brie in this film, find themselves at a crossroads when they move to the countryside, abandoning all that is familiar in their lives except each other. With tensions already flaring, a nightmarish encounter with a mysterious, unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. And if you've seen the trailers of the film, you'll know what it's going on about more there. Essentially, this is a body horror film centered around this couple literally becoming inseparable. And that excites me quite a bit. I don't know if excited is the right word actually, but that interests me quite a bit. Yes, it interests me quite a bit. A body horror movie centered around a couple. And I've been interested in watching more body horror films since seeing The Substance last year. Not that I've actually watched any other body horror films in the cinema or any body horror movies, period, but I've been interested in watching more body horror films since seeing The Substance. And then when I heard that this film was coming out, and when I heard from film pundits that I follow online that this was, the substance of this year, people were calling it the substance of this year, the great body horror movie of this year, I was thinking, oh, this could be a wild ride at the cinema. The same way The Substance was. I remember watching The Substance at the cinema, last September, I think that's when it came out last year, and literally wanting to turn away from the screen, but not at the same time, because I was so blown away by what I was watching. It was graphic, it was squeamish in all the ways you want a body horror movie to be, but it was so engaging and so compelling simultaneously, and I was hoping I was going to have that similar sort of experience watching Together at the cinema. So that is why I went to go and see it early today. I was interested in the film because it's another body horror movie, and it's starring a real-life couple in Dave Franco and Alison Brie, two actors I am a fan of. Well, two actors I like, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of, but two actors I like individually. I've seen Dave Franco in quite a bit of stuff now, and I think he is a good actor. I think he's better than most people give him credit for. And Alison Brie I've liked ever since I saw her in the TV show, in the cult, I think you would call it a cult TV show, Community, in which she was great in. So yeah, I've been a fan of those actors individually, and seeing them together in this film, seeing them together in the trailers of the film, had me very intrigued. So with my interest, I went to go and see the film yesterday. Actually, I went to go and see the film earlier today, and I don't know why I said yesterday there. I went to go and see the film earlier today at the cinema, and honestly, I thought this was a really good film. I found it to be very entertaining. Now, it is a strange film, and I can see why it would have worked for some people. And if you're somebody who does not like body horror movies, like I suggested watching this film to one of my friends, and they were like, no. I see the trailers of the movie, does not look like my cup of tea, and that's completely fair. Not everybody is going to be into body horror movies. This film is squeamish. It isn't going to be for everybody. There are certain images in the film, there's parts of the film I was like, oh, wow, I didn't expect the film to go in that direction, and there are parts of the film that reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing, and if you've seen The Thing, you probably know what I'm going on about the whole, the thing in The Thing, the part of this film that remind me of The Thing in John Carpenter's The Thing. And if you're not really into that sort of horror, then this might not be for you. And the parts of the film which don't work, and I don't know if the ending fully worked for me. I kind of wish the film ended like a minute earlier than it did. The last minute, I didn't really dislike, but I just felt it would have been a better ending if you cut out that last minute. You didn't need that last bit. I'm fine with it, but I would have preferred if the film ended on a certain shot of a computer. That's all I'm going to say. If you've seen the film, you probably know what I'm going on about, but if you haven't seen the film, I'd probably be talking gibberish to you, or be talking nonsense to you. Now you have a clue what I'm going on about. But yeah, I do think the film, I don't think the ending of the film quite comes together in the way you want it to be. It's not quite as satisfying as I hoped it would be. And there are parts of the film, that I think could have been better. It didn't blow me away in the same way the Substance did. It isn't as crazy as the Substance. That being said, I still had a really good time watching this film at the cinema. It was not what I expected it to be, because I went in expecting the Substance, but with a couple, and it's not really that. I mean, there are very big similarities to the Substance, but it's also very much its own thing. And it's a horror film about something. My favourite horror movies are about something, not just about the horror of it all. They're not just about the jump scares. By the way, there are some great, and I mean great, jump scares in this film, but also I prefer horror movies that are actually about something, that have this underlying theme going on within them. And this film is about codependency. It's about finding your right partner and sticking with them in every sense of the phrase. And I think that's what this film really delves into well. Yeah, I think that the themes of this film shine through very, very well. And I also, I'm not the first person to say this, and I will definitely not be the last person to say this, but I do also think it helps that you have a real life couple playing these two central characters in the movie. You have a real life couple, which makes their relationship, their romance, more believable, because they have been together for quite a few years now, I think. I can't remember when they get married. I don't really look into that sort of stuff, in all honesty. But I do know they're a real life couple. I've seen them doing press for the film, and I've seen it, being talked about quite a bit in regards to the movie, that they are a real life couple. So the fact that they are a real life couple also adds to your believability with the film. And also, another thing I really liked about this film, it wasn't necessarily the film I expected it to be. Like, yes, you have all the body horror in there, and that was the stuff I expected. But actually, there's this underlying mystery going on in the movie. And I'm not really going to get into what that is, because I think it's better explored within the film. If I just spoke about it, it'd be like, what the hell are you going on about? That sounds rubbish. But the way it's done in the film actually makes sense. I actually kind of liked it, and I didn't expect there to be this sort of mystery going on in the movie. I thought it was just going to be, there was something that happened with this couple which made their bodies and their skin kind of stick together. And that is kind of what happens in the film, but also it's not. There's more to it. There's a reason that their bodies keep sticking together, and I really like the way that was done. It actually made for quite an interesting and engaging watch. More of an engaging watch than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, there's this subplot going on in the film where there's mystery surrounding these two hikers who live in the town that our main two characters have just moved to. And there's a mystery going on with that which ties into the main plot of the film, which I liked quite a bit. I don't know if the mystery element fully worked, but if they were to do a sort of sequel to this, and I say a sort of sequel because I don't think you could do a full-on follow-up to this, but if you did a sort of sequel to this, set in the same world, maybe centered around a different couple, you could explore that element more, and I would like to see that. If they were to do a follow-up to this in some sort of way, again, not a straightforward sequel, because I don't think you can do a straightforward sequel, a straight-up sequel to this movie, but if they were to do a follow-up, I would certainly be interested in seeing that, because I do think there is more to explore in this world, and without going into spoilers, they leave some storylines open where you can pick that up in something else further down the line if they were to do that. That being said, the film still stands on its own 2 feet, and it is a really entertaining watch, particularly if you are into these type of horror movies. Again, not everybody is going to be, so this movie isn't going to be for everyone. I mean, no film is going to be for everyone, particularly horror movies, but this one, especially, there are some definitely moments in the film where you're going to be like, ugh. There's going to be moments in the film where you are watching the film through your hands, through through your fingers, and I was when I was watching the film earlier today. And it doesn't quite get as graphic as I thought it was going to be, but it was still really entertaining and really enjoyable to watch. And yeah, I do think it is worth a watch, particularly if you're a horror fan. And I'm not really a horror fan. Horror is one of those genres I've never really got into too much. I mean, I've seen a lot of horror movies, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of the genres that I sort of, what am I trying to say? It's not the genres that I really want to watch time and time again. It's not a horror. Horror isn't a genre that I gravitate towards. That's what I'm trying to say there. But that being said, when I watch a good horror movie, I will enjoy it. And again, this is a strange film, it's an odd film, it doesn't all work, but when it does work, it's entertaining and it's engaging, and it got better and better and better. The film started off as one kind of a film, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad, but I'm not really into this too much. Then about halfway through the film, I found myself really engaged in it, because it took a direction and there were twists and turns that I didn't expect, which made for a very enjoyable film watching experience. And one last thing, there is a great Spice Girls needle drop in this film towards the end of this movie, which was perfect for this film, and I mean perfect. There's a needle drop in this film which is on the money in all the ways you want it to be. Yeah, I had a great time with this film. I'm not saying it's a great film, but I had a great time with it, and I do think it's a really good film. Just not great, as I said. Still, yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that together, I'm going to say it's I'm going to say it's a 7.8 out of 10. I can't quite give it an 8. I give a film an 8 out of 10 if I thought it was very good or if I loved it. And I didn't love this film, but again, there's more to it than meets the eye. The trailer to this film, I actually don't think do the film much justice, because the trailers give the idea that it's just about the body horror, and it's really not. There's more to it, and I like the fact that there was more to it. There's an underlying storyline in this film that I think actually elevates the film and makes it better. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 7.8 out of 10, because I think the subplot of the film actually makes it a far more engaging watch, and if it wasn't there, it would just be a fun watch, nothing more, nothing less. But there is more to the film than you may think, and the themes explored in the movie would make it then more than just a horror movie that's all about the horror, that's all about the jump scares. And I don't really like horror movies like that. Again, there are great jump scares in the film, but I want there to be more from a horror movie, and this had more going on in it. This had more going on in it. It's about codependency, it's about finding your other half and sticking with them in every sense of that phrase. And this film explores that theme very well. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm super glad that I did. And so, all in all, as I've already said, and as I'm going to say once more in this podcast today, together it's a 7.8 out of 10 from me. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's podcast. If you have seen together, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching or listening to this podcast. And if you haven't yet, please click down below and like and subscribe on this video. And look forward to many more videos and many more podcasts coming very, very soon on this channel. As I've already said, thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. And I will see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.